to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. I just want to say a big welcome back to all of my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much, all of you who support me, who continue to reach out to me on Instagram, on Etsy, and for all of you who have supported me and each other in the comment section. I just really appreciate your presence here. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, we want to welcome you with open arms to this space. So please join us, grab yourself a cup of tea or some snacks, and we'll have a little bit of a chat because we're all friends when we gather at my table. I do want to do a bit of a warning today because I have noticed an influx of spam comments in my comment section from spellcasters and people offering readings through WhatsApp. So please keep yourself safe out there. I do not offer readings through my comment section unless you have been chosen the winner for the private reading, which I will reach out to you specifically for that. I do not offer readings through WhatsApp. I do not offer spellcasting services, so please keep yourselves very safe out there. I don't want anybody being taken advantage of, and there is someone actively on Instagram who has tried to steal my identity, so please keep yourself safe. I will not approach you on Instagram via the DM section either. And they're just going around really adding everybody and then sending them messages offering readings. So please keep yourself safe. I don't want anybody taken advantage of, and I just care about you so much. I would hate to see that happen. So with all of that out of the way, today's pick a card reading is an urgent message that you need from your guides, from your angel team, leading into the new year. So what message do they have for you that you need to hear right now? We have 3 piles for you to choose from today. We have pile number 1 with the Holly card and this piece of blue aragonite. Pile number 2 with the oak tree card and this piece of hematite. And this pile 3 with the sweet orange and this carnelian palm. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting from your spirit team, and my timestamps are listed below in the description box. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today is an urgent message that you need from your guides leading into 2022 in the new year. What do you need to know? What do they want to speak to you about today? Pile number 1. Hello everybody, in group number 1, you were drawn to the blue aragonite stone or to the holly card, and this is your reading. This is an urgent message from your guides and angels that is meant to find you today, and they are specifically wanting to address the coming year that is coming up for you. The holly card is a card that speaks about truth. And it talks about not letting yourself confuse fact with fiction or rational thought with wishful thinking in the new year, to listen to your conscience, to your guides as they speak to you, as they guide you towards honesty and truthfulness. So you may have some expectations about what is coming in the new year, and your guides are here to help clear the air, help keep you on the straight and narrow of expectations and what to expect for the new year. So let's take a look here and see, what urgent message do your guides and angels have for you at this moment? What message do you need to hear today? We have the 3 of Wands. The King of Cups. We have the 6 of Wands reversed. It is showcasing itself with the 10 of Cups and the Judgment card and the Queen of Pentacles. So we're going to remember that we had those pairings. We won't put them all down. We'll see what else comes out. A message you need from your guides and angels. The Hermit. And we have the 10 of Swords. So it's interesting that the 10 of Swords came out for you, pile 1, because we did start with that Holly card, and it asks us to really reflect upon what our perceptions are moving into the future and what our goals are here. We have this 2 of Swords here, which is talking about blinders being on. And so this card is already starting to really reflect and come full circle for us in this reading, asking us to make sure that we're not confusing fact with fiction or the rational thought with the wishful thinking that we have here. Right in the center, we do have the 6 of Wands reversed, which is talking about retreat or lack of confidence, and in a certain situation, it could be in connection with some type of love. So let's clarify here this 3 of Wands. have the Three of Swords. We have the Nine of Cups. So you have your heart, it seems like you have your heart really set upon a specific entity or person or situation. And I mean, your heart is in it. Like, that's it, full stop. You are invested in this idea, in this person. And you just really, you don't want to entertain any possibility that this connection may not work out in the new year. It's like that has been your focus. This has monopolized your mind perhaps here. And so Spirit is really asking you to reflect upon this person, on this opportunity, on this wish that you have in your heart, because they see it as a really strong desire, a really strong wish. And they're asking you to see it with a state of clarity. We do have the Six of Wands, as I said, in the reverse, which is talking about retreat or a failure. And they say that a reflection is definitely needed here. What's interesting to me is we have the Hermit card. We also have this holly, which really looks like a hermit lantern to me right now, of sort of casting light onto shadows of doubt here. And what the Hermit is really good at is retreating into thought and to break down all of these expectations that we may have, that we have made perhaps because we have, you know, pushed so much of our loving energy into this concept. We've put all of our eggs in that basket, all of our emotional eggs in that basket. So it's really asking us to unpack all of that, to look at things from an objective manner, because the Ten of Swords is asking us to see things clearly, to be truthful with ourselves and others about this situation and about the potential for success in this situation. There's a definite loneliness that you feel in association with this person or with this situation. And it's like you have this mindset that this direction towards this person is the only path you can take towards helping yourself feel better from that emotion, because that's a very isolating type of feeling that I'm getting. We do have the Ten of Swords here in the future position in your reading. And this is what Spirit wants you to avoid. That's why they're trying to keep you grounded in logic and grounded in realism in this very moment, because they want to avoid these emotional feelings of loss. This completely, it's kind of like a state of despair, like falling into a pit of it and then not feeling like there's any hope and movement. It takes away your courage. It takes away your intent towards any type of new beginning. It's a real depression type of energy coming in, and it's loss. It encourages us, when we see this card, to strip away everything that we have set our heart upon, because it's a reality-driven card filled with emotion that tells us that whatever force we've applied to this situation, this wish, it hasn't been practical enough to make any headway for us. And so your guides really want to be very gentle, yet it's like they're coaxing you gently along, because they understand that this is something that you are very emotionally invested in. I almost feel like I could cry, like I have a lump in the back of my throat right now, because I feel like there's someone watching that's like, I don't want you to tell me. And you may even be getting angry. I may even get messages in my comment section that are like, well, this is not my reading, because this is not the way it's supposed to go. And Spirit comes over the top sometimes to say that sometimes they have messages that we don't want, but that we need in that moment, because they don't want you to fall into a despair. They don't want that despair to happen, because it steals our hope to create further opportunities or further changes in our ascension, even individually. It steals our focus, it steals our hope. But they want us to see things objectively, but they don't want us to thrust into despair. So they're trying to gently put you on this path of reflection so that you can make practical approaches towards the goals that you have, instead of just these fantastical approaches, because they say that the approach that you're taking may not result in victory for anyone involved. And they feel like there's more than just, potentially for some of you, there's more people involved than just you and this person. And so we really need to take into account those dynamics. It's like they see you almost like wanting to leap into change. And in this case, they're asking us to reflect first. Oftentimes, you know, the Fool will come up top and they're like, go for it, leap into new beginnings, take risks, take chances, be vulnerable. And that's always great advice. But at the same, today, they're like, we want you to reflect, because in this case, you have monopolized your mind with all of this hope but it could lead you to this despair, and that's where we do not want to see you. We want to see you going into the next year with optimism and with a plan for that. If you can't go into 2022 with an optimistic attitude, they at least want you to go in with a plan for that, because they don't want you to fall into despair. And there is a message coming in that there may be someone watching that does have a history of perhaps anxiety or something that they have been plagued with, that it's not a crazy thought that you would fall into this type of pit, because it feels like something that you've experienced before perhaps, and that could be why they are trying to avoid that again. The Ten of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Three of Cups, and we have here the Two of Swords. They are just, oh, your guys are just rallying around you. Even with the Three of Cups, it's like, we are your friends. We're not here. It's like friend, not foe here. We're here. We're rallying around you, and we're not giving you this advice because we want to take the wind out of your sails or you know, take away your hopes and dreams towards this person. And it feels like directed towards a divine masculine energy here. They're not trying to steal your heart away. They're not trying to do any of those things. They're just rallying around you in support, and they're saying that we can see the forest through the trees where you cannot, and we can see the path that you are forging for yourself when it comes to focusing all of your intent towards this pathway. And because they see you making fantastical plans based on really strong emotions, they don't see practical plans in place that will lead you to the goals that you have here. Instead, they see it sort of working against you. So they're trying to help you in this way by opening your eyes to let you know that you don't see things 100% clearly right this moment. And because of that, they don't want you to be going blindly into the next year with the expectations that you sort of have in your heart right this moment about this situation and about this person. Okay. What do you need to hear today? We have, it says, make a wish and a dandelion in the wind. And that's exactly what they're saying that you've done, is that you have made this wish about this person. And there's this sense too of, it's not that this wish is inherently bad. It's not that your focus on this person is inherently bad. It's just that they say that you're so focused upon it, but there's no actual practical steps towards that goal. And so you may be led to disappointment. And that disappointment, even though we have sort of walked ourselves into that position, that disappointment is going to usher in perhaps a depression, a debilitating depression. And that's what they want to avoid. We have here hope. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. And even here with the make a wish card, it says make a wish with a dandelion in the wind. And that's what they don't want you to stop wishing. They just want you to release them and release your expectation, release your hold on the outcome as being the only it's like you have one specific idea of what the outcome will be that reaches success for you, and Spirit doesn't see it heading in that direction. And so because they see you perhaps falling into that pit of despair, they want to try to maintain your objective. They want you to take some time to pause. This card says, take a lesson from the owls and deeply observe the night, and you'll become a little wiser in the day. They want you to remember the past when you followed this trail perhaps, and it thrust you into this type of despair. And they don't, not that they want to bring you back to that moment of despair, but they do want to sort of have you revisit the lesson for a moment of what you gained from it and how you pulled yourself out of it so that you can avoid that trap again. Back of the deck says joy. Spread seeds of joy like a wildflower, and no doubt you will revel in the results. And that's what the Six of Wands in the very center of your reading is talking about too. Because the Six of Wands in reverse is talking about a lack of confidence and retreat after failure, or even retreat before we've even failed, like we give up before we even face the challenge. And so Spirit wants you instead to go confidently into 2022, but still releasing the expectations about this person. They don't want they don't want your confidence, your happiness to be completely contingent on this person making an appearance in your life in some way in 2022. Because if it doesn't result in that, they don't want you to be filled with despair. It's like somebody has set up a time, like specific, it's like they've given themselves a date. It's like if I don't accomplish this by this date, or if I don't hear from them by this date, or then there's just like a despair card, or like an expiry date waiting for us. It's looming over us, and that's not what Spirit wants. They want us to plant seeds of joy, plant seeds of confidence as we move forward into the next year, and create plans of action towards our goals that will make sense, that will create abundance for us and not lead us to the same sort of traps that we've found ourselves in over time, from the past, that is. Advice for pile one, please. The message you need to hear. We have in between worlds. This card is a number 3. I know that sometimes people don't like to hear that we also have chaos and conflict, that you don't want to hear that you're in between worlds right now, that you're in this state of limbo. And I will say this, that for some of you, your directive towards this person holds with it many, many practical concerns that could create havoc for this person, for you as well. The Chaos and Conflict card, the 10 of Pentacles. There is just this, even with the 2 of Swords, there's a sense of indecision here. It's like somebody doesn't know where they want to be. And so the Spirit also wants us to, if this is not you, if this is the person that you're really focused upon, they want that to be a part of that reflection too, about who is trying to avoid chaos and conflict and for what purpose. You know, the Chaos and Conflict card is kind of like the Tower energy, and it encourages us to unpack that fear. Sometimes people who we're really focused upon, they try to avoid this chaos and conflict by avoiding decisions that need to be made within this connection that leave us in this in-between state. And there is a sense here too of perhaps family, children even being part of these foundations that are in the way, that are causing us to be in this state of limbo as well. And so that's why this 10 of Swords encourages us to release, because sometimes what we're hoping to head towards will not be waiting for us at the end of the day. And that is a message that is coming through for someone, is that our expectations here about more may not come to fruition. And so your guides are really asking you to go into the new year focusing on your self-worth and on raising your vibration. And they want you to go out and enjoy yourself. That's really what they want. They want you to claim your independence and to go out and enjoy yourself and to have fun and to celebrate. Because if we're planting seeds of those joy, then we can create a new plan of action for ourselves. We can create a new plan of action by the dawn of this day in a state of optimism, in a state of gratitude that leads us to our security, that leads us to abundance, that leads us to a sense of acceptance and happiness, that we, you know, a life that we've built up for ourselves that we're really proud of. Guide message from your guides and angels that you need right now. We have here transformation. Get ready for a big breakthrough. And it feels like epiphanies coming in for you, Pile 1. It feels like epiphanies coming in for you. There's a real nostalgia surrounding the holly plant for me as well. It's something that we decorate with at Christmas time. It's beautiful. It holds a very special meaning, but it sort of adopts right along with it this sort of sense of magical nostalgia. And it's like we've kind of put rose-colored glasses onto this situation or onto this person. And the problem with rose-colored glasses is that sometimes those rose-colored glasses will filter out the red flags that we know are sitting there. And we've chosen to kind of blind ourselves to it because we have so much focus and so much love and so much intent towards this one directive. But when we throw all of that focus and intent towards this one sort of basket, we sometimes do ourselves in, and that's exactly what your guides want to avoid. So this transformation that's happening for you, Pile 1, is happening inwardly. And it's going to create, it could create a little bit of chaos for you, but in a great way, because it's going to allow you new perspectives, new beginnings, and real expansion that actually benefits you. It's an expansion away from the sadness that you feel. It's an awareness that comes in. It's like we're opening up our eyes and we're overcoming the obstacle and the challenge. And the challenge is perhaps to unpack our mind and detach from this person. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. A message you need from your guides and angels. That was a heavy reading, pile 1. Yes. What they want to say to you, though, in the bowl today, which is beautiful, is that opportunities are going to knock. Opportunities that you never even imagined for yourself are going to be knocking for you next year. Once you detach yourself from this situation, which has not fulfilled you in the past emotionally, and Spirit doesn't see it fulfilling you emotionally in the future of next year either. And so once we detach ourselves from that situation and from the uncertainty and the insecurity that it holds, we have brand new beginnings. We are holding back our own new opportunities, our own potential. And that's why your guides really want to step forward today and say, hey, you're holding back your potential because your focus is so blindly, focused on this person in that direction. But we have this, and this waiting for you. We just want you to detach from all of that. And that's part of the lesson of this person. That's why you feel so intently towards them, is because they represent the challenge. They represent the big obstacle. And when we can overcome that, a whole new world opens up for us. And it's not going to be easy either. Emotionally, I feel like it's going to be hard. There's the chain. There's a codependency here. It's like we recognize it's not good for us, but we just can't help ourselves because we feel so connected to them. Or there's like even an intrinsic, like a soulmate type of vibe connection. We do have Capricorn. We have the Devil chain here as well. We do have a T-Rex in the bowl, which is a sign of little boys. I think of little boys, and I also think about extinction, things that are past their expiry. We have the letter J. We have the butterfly transformation, and that's happening for you next year as well. We have the 4-leaf clover for good luck from your guides and angels. They're not saying you're going to have a terrible year. They're just saying specifically about this situation, you have expectations leading into next year, and they may not come to fruition for you, and may lead you to despair. So they're trying to redirect you. They're trying to redirect you. We have a commandment from the Bible that says, "Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord thy God in vain." Somebody who perhaps curses a lot or swears a lot. We also have here the Christmas present. We have Christmas coming up as well, so that could be significant for you. All right, group number 1, that's what I have for you today, and I hope that it resonated with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story in the comments section so that I can get some words of encouragement back to you. I would love for you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and be sure to hit your notification bell if you do, and drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. And if you do drop me a comment below and you are interested in the free reading, be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can find you. Otherwise, I may not be able to contact you and let you know that you were the winner. I also offer opportunities to win a free mini read on Instagram, and I also offer personal readings in my Etsy account, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a very beautiful day. Hello everybody. In pile number 2, you were drawn to this beautiful piece of hematite, or perhaps to the oak tree card here, and this is your reading. This is a message meant for you from your guides and angels. What messages do they have for you leading into next year? The oak tree talks about being steadfast, and it talks about realizing how much you have to offer the world, that you underestimate perhaps your strength and your abilities. You underestimate the purpose that you hold here in this lifetime, and they want you to know that your inner power is just waiting for you. It's waiting to just be tapped into, but only you can do it, that you don't see the value in yourself, and you have to have more faith in yourself as well. So let's take a look and see what else your guides want to say to you today. A message meant to find you from your guides. What do you want to talk to group 2 about for 2022? For the coming year, the King of Wands, yes. You are so capable and you underestimate yourself. The King of Wands is fire. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, you don't have to be, but it's more about how much inspiration you have, all of your good ideas, all of the capability, your brains, everything that you have that you definitely don't see. You definitely don't see everything you have going for you. And you know, we all fall into these traps of despair sometimes where we focus on the glass being half empty, and it's really hard to pull ourselves out of that rut. The Ten of Wands is talking about burdens that you carry, that you don't often feel capable of carrying, and yet it's been evidenced time and time again of how much you've accomplished and everything you've gone through, and that should be an evidence to everything that you can accomplish and can go through. But it's like instead you sometimes focus on the fear and the worry associated with what's coming, because maybe you've been through a lot and you don't want the other shoe to drop, but you sort of expect it to sometimes. Yeah, there's the moon. We have the Two of Cups as well coming out with that moon. Now this doesn't even have to, this can bleed into every area of your life. This can be in work, this can be in love as well, in your relationships. It can reflect there. And Spirit says that this may reflect next year coming in for 2022 or the upcoming year, where this belief system is going to be needed to be adjusted, because otherwise it's a detriment to offers that may come in for you in love. It's like you won't recognize the value you have, so you won't be able to make a proper decision when an offer opens up for you. And this is not just, oh, you're going to meet someone and have some fun with them. This looks like a relationship that is based on more than just attraction and sex and all of that. It can start there, and that's great. But this is something that has potential to both teach us things, to help drive us, to help unlock our potential perhaps as well, to see how much value we have. And that's what they really want to tell you too, group 2, is that you do have somebody coming forward that's going to help you highlight that. The Five of Wands. And it's going to come in the form of a relationship. And unfortunately, sometimes when we already have defeatist type of attitudes towards ourselves, it just sort of gets highlighted even more when all of a sudden we're in a relationship and we care about the other person and what they think about us. All of a sudden our deficits become huge in our own eyes. And so Spirit says that in the coming year, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to unload some of that, to reflect upon it, and then to unload some of that this is a safe space for you to be able to, again, I keep going back to the word reflection, but the Gemini, you know, lovers in Gemini, or the Geminis in the Lovers card, are really good at looking at things from every single possible position. They're saying that a relationship will form for you next year, but there's also, more importantly, I mean, it's great that they're bringing forth that message that, yes, you have this relationship forming for you next year, but more importantly, they want to talk to you about the insecurities that are going to be riled up because of this attraction, because it feels stronger than an attraction that maybe you've experienced before. And that's because it's a connection that's meant to push you to a precipice of change. So it holds a very important purpose. You have the Strength. You are going to be sort of challenged in the coming year, especially in this case with the love offer coming in, to tame those insecurities inside of you. Otherwise, you're going to recognize that you're going to miss out on something really good. You're going to miss out on a really good thing. And then you'll have to live with that sort of knowledge of like, well, I got in my own way there. I got in my own way. I allowed my ego to stop me from being vulnerable. When this opportunity presented, I let my ego fall back into insecurity and into these comfort zones, and I never gained what I could have gained. And Spirit wants you to know that you have everything already in your wheelhouse to succeed over this obstacle, that your higher self is literally standing there right beside you with the map. It's like, I already did this, so here's the map. This is what you need to do. And they are going to be communicating with you a lot between now and when this offer presents, because they're going to be trying to bolster your confidence a little bit to get you into that state of being able to leap. Because they say that this, again, this is not just any relationship. And there's the Five of Pentacles. This is not just any relationship. This is going to be someone that has the potential perhaps for even longevity with you. Now, that's not for everyone, but this is soulmate energy. This is soulmate energy with this offer coming in. It could be coming in from a water sign. We have the Sun. Back of the deck is the Tower and the Fool. And the Tower in this particular card deck right this moment is like, and as soon as I put it down, I thought this is the best tower possible. This is the best tower ever, because this is like an epiphany that comes in for you on the other side of this. This is a life-changing event for you coming in. And it's not something that's, you know, your house is being towed away or being destroyed by a fire. It's not something catastrophic in that way, but it is life-changing, and it is epiphanies that come in for you. And that's what Spirit's calling for. They're calling for epiphanies. They are the bolt of lightning coming out of the blue. They're saying, we're trying to communicate with you. We're trying to challenge this idea about your value and your worth and what you're capable of. And we're challenging you by bringing in the desires of your heart and seeing what you're going to do with it. Are you going to let those insecurities stop you from seeing the potential in you and getting to your sunshine, delaying your own gratification? Because again, I'm getting this message. Look at the wall built up behind them. That this could be someone that you actually build a foundation with. This could be someone that you end up committing to. And even here's the Fool, here's the Four of Cups and Three of Pentacles. Spirit's asking you to leap into these opportunities next year. And that's why they really wanted to get your attention today, because they see you stuck in this state of apathy. And that's a dangerous foundation to be a part of. And your higher self is not happy sitting here. She's like, you feel helpless to create change, or you're worried about change, or you don't see the value in yourself. And truly, we're like shining a light on you, saying this is your show. We are just living in your show right now. They're shining a light on you and how confident you should be, because they see the forest through the trees that you do not. But they see huge opportunities towards permanent change for you, new foundations being formed next year, and they want to prepare you for that moment. Message you need. You guys need. This Tower is sort of starting and ending the reading in a way, because it's like the epiphany is needed for you to kind of, it's like highlight your worth. See yourself for the truth. I often say, you know, that there's the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there's a truth, which is subjective to a person's opinion. And Spirit says that your truth about yourself right this moment is not the truth. That you are listening to the ego too much. But they see the truth of you, and they say that you're amazing, and they say that that will be reflected upon you when you see this great offer come up. But you're going to be challenged within it, because you're not going to feel that reflected back to you. You're not going to feel like this person could be saying, I think you're amazing, and you're going to be scoffing on the inside. We have the Body here. What's interesting about this relationship that's coming in, Spirit says it's very physical. And I feel like some of your insecurity stems from fears of being vulnerable in a physical sense with your physical body. So you may have concerns about how you look, or you know, your body in some type of way. And that's the thing that really, you put all of your self-worth based on a physicality. So maybe it's whatever body part that you don't like. Maybe it's a multiple body parts. Like you put all of your self-worth based on that, or based on how smart you think you are. It changes depending on the person, because I'm dealing with collective energy here today. But somebody, it's like you can't possibly imagine yourself, and I feel like I could cry. Oh, you can't possibly imagine yourself feeling confident or feeling worthy of love like this, because of something physical. Because of something tangible on your body that you feel is a restriction, or you feel is unlovable, or makes you unlovable. And it's this attitude that's going to lead you to despair every time. Because the deficits that you see, and I could cry, I hate that. The deficits that you see in yourself, this person is going to love. And that's the difference between perspective, isn't it? It's that the part of yourself that you hate the most, this person's going to be like, I love that part of you. Bring me more of that. And that's exactly what this next year can afford you, is a complete shift in thinking, a freedom from all of those negative self-talks, a freedom from this sense of having to fear, having to hide your truth, having to hide yourself. It's a beautiful thing. We have the chicken on the back of the deck. It's going to encourage you and challenge you to do things afraid, because this offer will present, but you have to be vulnerable enough to step into it, and you're going to be challenged. That's going to be a challenge for you. But they say that sweet results await. Foundations, building of foundations here. Mending of truths that you adopted in childhood, perhaps as well, specifically about the body. We have here 9 of Cups, Treasure Island, going with the flow. You've been patient for this, I feel, or impatient, depending on how you look at it. You don't realize, and it's kind of an interesting message coming in, you don't realize that these deficits that you see in yourself are actually the key to everything you ever wanted. It is this deficit you see in yourself that will be the caveat towards change that will allow this energy for this person to come ushered in. And that's why Spirit really wants us to understand that even when we come into this life and we're really disappointed with how our body is, or if there's something about ourselves that we compare ourselves to other people, that's sometimes a beautiful gift to us. And we will come to realize that we chose these meat suits, we chose these vehicles for a reason, to help teach us certain lessons. And so Spirit really wants to kind of pull back and remind you of that. Your higher self is like, I just want to remind you delicately and gently that there's a reason why we chose this specific vehicle for your lifetime. And it's because we had to overcome this challenge of perception. We need to detach our worth from this physical body, because it will get older and it will start to change, and it will not always look so great. It will eventually turn to dust, and then you will be free to be the truest version of yourself. But that's the challenge in this lifetime too, is to unpack that now, so we don't have to wait for that, so we can enjoy this moment. We can enjoy these opportunities. We can feel free within them. Back of the deck is Time for a Nap. It's the 2 and a 4 equaling a 6, because that's a card of confidence for me. It's a card of retreating so we can reflect and prepare ourselves for this. And even if we have to fake it till we make it, that's okay too. We can fake it till we make it. If it gets us to the right, outcome, then just start faking it till you make it. Advice, please, that you need to hear. We have Friends. The most unlikely friendships can form like variegated lichens on a hard rock. They create a tight bond. You never expected, perhaps, to have this type of connection happen for you in this, and there's going to be something serendipitous about it. There's going to be something very, and it could even be connected to like your attempts to raise your vibration a little bit as far as your confidence. We have Patience. Everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. And we also have Surprises. Under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. I love that. And even the Opportunity card on the back of the deck. Unfurl like a fern without even unfurl like a fern even without sunlight. The opportunities that are coming in for you. And that's what they want you to understand, is that it's not just going to stop at this love offer, this new emotional start. It's not going to stop there. It's going to ignite something inside of you. Because once your head is held high and you've had this shift in mindset, the freedom is going to make you leap into all sorts of opportunities. The confidence is going to make you challenge yourself to do things that you never thought were possible. And I keep saying this lately, because Spirit keeps likening all of this to like connecting flights. They're like, you don't understand that this moment is a connecting flight to this moment, and this moment is a connecting flight to other things, that you will be fulfilled in emotional abundance and love. But the most important pathway is the one that you forge towards your own emotional happiness. You'll have that beautiful support system, but you're on an individual journey, and that's what Spirit wants you to focus upon, because it's going to lead you to all sorts of situations and unexpected detours you never planned for. And you're going to evolve into a person you never imagined was possible when you look back on perhaps today, 5 years from now, a year from now. Not like pathways you never even thought were possible. Let's get a charm bowl for you, group number 2. A message you need to hear from your guides and angels. what is coming up in the coming year that they want to prepare you. Oh, missed the bowl. Missed the bowl again. This is why I didn't make it into my class basketball team. In fact, I was the only person in the whole class who was deducted from the team. Can you believe that? We have the King of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Six of Cups reversed. Isn't that interesting? So you could be an air sign, which is very interesting because we do have the Lovers here, ruled by Gemini. I find that really interesting because it's like very well matched energy. The Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, it doesn't matter if you are the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine here, you're both being represented in the bowl today. And this is soulmate energy paramount here, even with the Six of Cups in the reverse position. That's an important position here because it's talking about your expectations and how your version of the truth is really feeding into that expectation, because you have this idea that maybe love isn't meant for you. Maybe you don't have a counterpart. Maybe it's naive to think that you have someone that could support you like that. Maybe it's naive to think that there's someone out there that would love you, even though you look at yourself with so many deficits. And it's reversed because it's you feel like it's an unrealistic goal to hope for. But this Queen of Swords is here to kind of put an end to that nonsense, the nonsense of that thought pattern, because they're like, you know what, the truth of the matter is that you do have a counterpart. The truth is that you do have someone waiting for you. And she's one who always sees the truth, and she's not afraid. Both of these characters are not afraid to cut ideas, people, places, situations, things out of their life that aren't serving them, including their own thoughts that are not serving them. Especially these negative vibrational thoughts that are not leading us to any type of abundance. Spirit says you will see the truth next year. In the bowl today we have I. We have lipstick, which is talking about attraction and talking about seduction. We have a kitty cat, Leo energy, claiming our independence. We have the moon here with the little heart. Sadness and love, perhaps you've experienced here, even with the heart with the key flying up. The Spirit says that we are the key to our own success here. We have a little snowflake. So wintertime could be very, very significant to you. So sometime in the new year when there is still snow on the ground or cold weather upon us, there could be shifts and changes. We do have another key here. It reminds us as well, though, that these offers will present, but we hold the key. We have to walk through those doorways. We have the little paw print too, so maybe you have pets as well. We also have a nursing cap, hospital or nursing or work connection, or a blocked heart chakra perhaps. And we have the High Priestess with the curled shell. And I think about the High Priestess because of the curled nature of the bottom of these shells and how she sits upon information she knows to be true, that you can't quite see inside of her. She likes to keep herself suppressed. All right, group number 2, that's what I have for you today, and I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story in the comments section, and I would love to get some words of encouragement back to you. I also offer private readings through my Etsy account. You can find that link below. And I offer a private mini read, an opportunity to win a private mini read rather, on Instagram on a monthly basis. And I offer a chance to win a video reading here on YouTube. So drop your comment below and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in and I can contact you if you were chosen the winner. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care. Hello everybody. In pile number 3, you were drawn to the Carnelian Palm, or perhaps you were drawn to the Sweet Orange card, and this is an urgent message. Important message that your guides want you to hear moving into next year. The Sweet Orange card talks about a zest for life. It talks about you being such an enthusiastic and sort of bright light to the world that it becomes infectious and other people can follow your shining example. It also talks about fueling your own desires as well to discover new heights and new achievements that you haven't even considered for yourself as well. So you could have some big changes coming in for you in the coming year. So let's take a look here. We'll use the Happy Tarot for you since this is such a bright card talking about being a zest and a light to the world. So a message, an important message that they need to hear moving into next year. Important message that you need. We have here the King of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. We have the High Priestess. Sometimes you don't trust your own judgment. Sometimes you don't trust your own inclinations and your own judgment, and you stop yourself. Here's the Knight of Swords with the Four of Swords. You may sometimes act before thinking sometimes. And your higher self is like, you know, obviously they experience this, you know, they know you innately, they know you internally. So they are, you're a reflection of them. But they're saying sometimes you don't think before you act, sometimes, or you don't think before you speak sometimes, which can sometimes get you into a little bit of trouble. We have here the Two of Wands. Back of the deck is the Three of Wands. So next year, your guides and angels are really seeing a lot of expansion for you, and they want you to prepare for that movement. They want you to prepare for that movement. They say that even though you are like, it's like you're really intelligent and people can really take advantage of everything you have to offer, but you don't see that in yourself. You give great advice. You could be somebody who's very spiritually inclined, and actually you could be someone who is actually even into tarot or into palmistry or something along that vein. In fact, that may be even the direction your life has taken as far as career, perhaps. Others, it's like this entrepreneurial type of vein that you're on. But you're just this leader. People go to you for advice. You are really smart, but you don't see that in yourself. Sometimes that's the best. To be honest, that's sometimes like the highest form of being intelligent. You know, to be truly intelligent is to sort of see things for as they are, without judgment. You don't see them as good or bad, without judgment. And that's how people see you. But again, you're not seeing that side of yourself. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. Sometimes this belief system stops you from actually expanding in the direction that you know you should go into. And that's really what that sweet orange card was really talking about too, was this sense of you delving into opportunities in the coming year that you never even imagined for yourself. If you trust the same advice that you would give to other people, it's like you are great at giving advice, but you do not pay attention to it for yourself. You know, it's kind of like the those who can't teach do, or sorry, those who can't do teach. It's kind of that energy coming through. It's like everyone comes to you for some type of advice, or everyone comes to you for leadership, and you're great at that and you feel confident in that. But when it comes to yourself, you see a lack. You don't follow your own advice, which stops you from expanding because you don't necessarily feel capable or trust your own judgments, your own experiences sometimes. We have the Knight of Wands. I do see opportunities for you to expand in the coming year. And this is really an opportunity for you to evolve and transform. And it feels like it could be in connection to your work environment. But it also it plants beautiful seeds of confidence and encouragement and confidence in your personal life, and it leads to emotional fulfillment for you. But I feel like there's a hesitation when these opportunities present, or you have like an inclination, you have an idea in your mind. It could even be towards starting your own business, and you may have been mulling it over. It could have something to do with a spirituality realm. It doesn't have to, but it's really asking you to sort of absorb and utilize your inner wisdom, this path perhaps. And you may be sort of ignoring that call a little bit because you're feeding, that ego is telling you, you know, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. What makes you think you're capable? What makes you think you can do this? And when we hear those negative vibrations, we have to understand that that's definitely not coming from your guides. It's not coming from your higher self. Your higher self will never speak to you that way. It's coming from an interior dialogue perhaps that we have practiced and we have honed over the years that has now taken root inside of us. But you're too smart for that. You're too capable for that, and you're too talented for that, quite frankly. Spirit says that it's not a strong enough energy, honestly, to hold you down. And I know, and I'm almost excited. I feel really jazzed up. It's not strong enough to hold you down because you are this zest of life. And you, because you have already planted such positive seeds towards helping others, your light shines through this. Spirit sees straight through it. All of this insecurity, they see straight through it. And they're hoping that you'll see through it moving into next year as well, because they see an opportunity for reflection for you before you kind of enter into unknowns. But not necessarily unknowns, just expansion upon what you already know. And it's not, this Knight of Wands is encouraging that. It's encouraging you to go leaping forward. And especially in the past, if you've had inclinations towards shifts in, especially in career, I feel like there's, even though I don't have any pentacles here, I'm still getting a sense of moving towards impulses in career, expansions in career. Oh no, I do have pentacles. Expansions in career here. Even though it starts there, it has seeds in career. It's like, it's all about you utilizing your voice in a positive way that benefits you for once. Do you know what I mean? It benefits you for once. I feel like you've always helped others with your advice, with your objective, with your thought, but this is helping you for once. And look what it's affording you. It's a path that's going to lead you to fulfillment. It's going to make you feel confident. It's going to make you feel happy with what you're offering the world as well. We have the Tower. They want you to know this is going to lead, when you take this path, they want you to know that although it's leading to epiphanies for you and truths, spiritual truths, I feel coming in for you, and an expansive experience that you never thought you'd ever take. This is a pathway that you never thought in life that you would ever take. It's going to create epiphanies for you that are ever changing. It may also cause a little bit of turbulence for other people in your life who are very used to you being a certain way and not taking certain paths. It could create a little bit of havoc there, but Spirit says it's still to your benefit. It's still to your expansion. And the Seven of Wands is talking about challenges that you will overcome. That you will overcome. The Emperor energy. There's the Wheel of... Ooh! There's the Ten of Pentacles. And this is what we're talking about. They're saying that if you harness the insecurities and the fears that you have inside of yourself and armor yourself towards the challenges ahead, and you will be challenged, that all of a sudden, sudden turns of events in your favor, especially financially, are upon you. And that could be what you're sort of hoping for, kind of waiting for, wanting to reap the benefits, you know, harvest time, wanting to pick that beautiful fruit. It wasn't the original goal, perhaps, but that's where it's going to lead you. It wasn't the original expectation, perhaps, but that's where it's going to lead you. And that could even be why you have hesitated to go into this realm, and it feels very spirituality based, to hesitate to go into this realm because you're like, well, this is not a safe realm, quote unquote. This is not a traditional route to take, and I can't follow that call because it's not traditional enough. And it doesn't, you know, other people in your life may not support this path that you want to take. And that could be a part of the challenge too, is unpacking the expectations of other people throughout this journey. But they say that it's going to expand you in ways that you never thought possible. And it's going to lead you down paths that you never thought possible. And the people around you are going to notice that. And where they are hesitant to believe in what you're capable of on the offset of all the changes that are going to be happening to you, they will be the first ones on the other side of that going, I was wrong. And they will be wrong. They may, and that could be where some of your insecurities are stemming from, is from the voices of others saying, well, that's not the route you should be taking, or that's not how you were raised. Because some of you may be breaking free. Some of these towers that are breaking down may be generational towers where you are breaking free from expectations that are no longer serving your course, your path. And you may be stepping into your truth where you're like, you know what? I've been living for others. I'm going to make choices now for me. Other people have been benefiting from this position that I've held for a long time. And so I'm going to shift my position. I'm going to trust my higher self, and I'm going to follow this new path. This path that inspires me, this path that will ultimately inspire other people. And it may feel selfish to sort of leap into it now, but Spirit wants you to know that it is absolutely not selfish, because other people are going to benefit from it. You are a light. But the light, most importantly, is going to expand for you in ways that you never thought possible. And you will feel so fulfilled at the end of this path. But they say that the challenge is still there ahead of you. Like, you're still grappling with that ego, that fear of change, that fear of the unknown. But you're also, like, I feel like you're just also, there's a light inside of you that just, again, these detrimental energies of the Four of Pentacles, which talks about restrictions and fears and hoarder mentality, it's not enough to dim you. It's not enough to dim you. Even in this Two of Swords, you can see how much light is being cast from that moon. It's not enough to dim your path. So Spirit is really excited about this path, and they want you to know, specifically your higher self is going to be just standing right beside you. It's sitting right beside you on the back of that horse, encouraging you every step of the way. And they want you to know too that this path you're taking is going to increase your spiritual awareness tenfold as well. Very exciting. Message you need. The Doll. You're unpacking some expectations from your youth. You're unpacking the traditions or the expectations of family, it feels, particularly for someone watching a father figure with this Emperor here. That's a big challenge of, like, am I going to disappoint my parents? Or am I going to disappoint this specific person? Because their expectation of me is that I'm this person, but I'm actually this person. And it may be sort of scary to sort of speak that truth, and you may hesitate to speak that truth, but it is your truth. And so Spirit doesn't want you to hesitate. It is your story to tell this life. Nobody else has to live it. And when other people are standing in the way and judging your experience, it means that they're actually deflecting from doing their own interior work. And so you'll have insecurities, you'll have fears, you'll have people from your past, you'll have ghosts from the past, particularly even your inner voice telling you that you shouldn't do things, that you shouldn't lead, that you shouldn't move forward. But that's why that rabbit is leaping over it all. Because it's a sense of adventure. It's a new path for you. It's made for you. And there's so much abundance in it. You're a little uncertain about it. Here's the future card. I guess I should put this one down. There's the future card, Octavia E. Butler. But the uncertainty from the future lies in the energies that are still holding you back from the past, the fears, the insecurities. Other people's fears and insecurities holding you back. And all that's going to do is steal all your potential. It's just going to steal it away. A message you need, pile number 3. We have here regeneration. I love this. 4 and a 6 is a 10. It talks about completion. It talks about being on course to complete a cycle, to complete a component of your soul contract here. It's like in areas where you thought that you would never revisit, or thoughts, perhaps little seeds of thought, little hopes and dreams that you had in the past that you had sort of relinquished for the goods of other people, or it just didn't make sense, or we have many reasons why we give up these hopes and dreams that we have, or these little sparks of inspiration. It's about to be regenerated. You thought you had put that idea to bed. Spirit says, nope, you did not. But it's Spirit says this spark is going to envelop everything. It's going to light everything up, and it's going to challenge you in ways that you never thought possible, but it's also going to expand you in ways that you never thought were possible too. We have, woo, I keep doing that, so I apologize. I'm changing my rigging a little bit, and I keep messing with it. Here is the Observer card. Back of the deck is the Mending. And it came out reverse. And you know what message came with it? Is that you think that you need to fix yourself. It's like you always are in this constant state of like, I need to fix me. But this journey that Spirit sees you going on is a reflection of like waking up to who you truly are, and that there are no deficits in you. It's opening up your awareness that it's epiphanies coming in that lead to so much expansion because there are no deficits in you. It's talking about how you've been sitting on your potential just as an observer because you're too fearful of leaping into this new beginning. But Spirit says it's time. And even this coyote here on top of this egg is talking about intelligence and talking about moving on an opportunity as well. Because that's how we truly mend this idea that we have some sort of deficit, that we're not capable. We have uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. And you may not trust your own, and I do feel like there's someone specifically watching that maybe even like moving into like the tarot realm or into some sort of divination realm perhaps. So if that's not your message, then please take that as it resonates to your situation. And if there is any type of position within your journey where you feel uncertain about your gifts or your goals or any of those things, because sometimes that's enough to stop us too. It's enough to stop us when we tell ourselves, well, I don't know anything. Why would anyone want to listen to me? I don't know anything. And Spirit wants you to understand that they will help you along that process. That they are here, that they're, honestly, for me, there's nothing special about me. Everybody is born with intuition, but like any muscle, if you use it and you use it and you use it, you become very well at using that muscle. You know, you're able to isolate muscle groups and you're able to pick up things. And that's what Spirit wants you to understand, is that you're not going to feel confident, but that's how you'll know, that's the evidence that you're standing outside of the comfort zone. You're not going to feel confident. But that confidence will inch along and will start to glow and glow higher and blaze a little bit brighter. And ultimately, it will consume you. And those epiphanies will come in. To not fear the shades of gray. To not fear the uncertainty. And don't let that stop you from leaping. We have let go. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. Let go of everything that is holding you back. Fears, insecurities, other people's expectations, which are not your responsibility to uphold. Time to make a wish with a dandelion in the wind and release it. And follow that wish. See where it's going to take you. Follow the pressure that's building inside for change here. And we have risk. Learn to grow wherever you are planted. This was not the path you expected. But opportunities unfurl like a fern without even the benefit of warm sunlight sometimes. Opportunities that are meant for you are going to spring up. This was not the path you expected, but this is the path that was meant for you, and you are being divinely guided towards it. Beautiful energy for you, pile 3. Let's get a charm bowl for you. A charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Message from your guides and angels. There's the Fool, time to leap into new beginnings, even if you're uncertain. And here's the High Priestess reversed. Now, the High Priestess reversed is talking about blocking out our intuition, not listening to our higher self, not trusting perhaps the messages that come in from your higher self. And that could be why you're kind of waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like you don't feel capable, you don't feel confident enough to take that leap because you're too afraid. But this little dog here underneath are your guides and angels chomping at your feet and at your heels saying, just leap. Just leap. We'll take care of the other things. You don't need to worry about the highs, the wow, the hows, the whys. You just have to do the leap. You just have to make that leap. And this 9 of Wands is showcasing, they want to remind you of everything you've already gone through. It's that you fear a challenge, but they're like, look at the evidence of what you've overcome. Look at the evidence of what you've been through. You have all of that in your arsenal to apply force and strength to this situation. And all we're asking you to do is just take that leap of faith. Even if you don't trust us completely, do it afraid, because we are 100% trustworthy. You may not trust us completely, but we are 100% trustworthy. Of course, they'll never force you into that pathway. We have 2 K's in the bowl, and we have a C and an S and an F. But my grandmother used to say that when God wants something, he doesn't whisper, he shoves. That's what she used to say. So when Source has a plan for you, he's going to keep whispering in your ear. They're going to keep whispering in your ear. And it's not, and honestly, it doesn't feel aggressive, but it's persistent enough that you notice. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore the call. We have the Rabbit asking us to leap down this new path of adventure in work. It's associated with work or your pathway in work. We see transitions here with the the dime here from 2009. I often think of October or the 10th of any month with this charm, but it's talking about transitions into calmer waters, into clarity for you as well. We have here the Fawn, which is talking about children, so you could have children. It says, how I feel about you makes my heart long to be free. We also have the marijuana charm as well. Sometimes we get persistent thoughts and persistent ideas and persistent energies that come in towards us, and sometimes we dull them with certain things, with alcohol, with certain other things. And Spirit's not saying that, you know, they don't have anything against, you know, marijuana inherently. They just don't want you to block them out with that on a consistent basis, because they're like, we're trying to talk to you and you keep ignoring us by blocking out our voice. So just spend some time meditating with us so that you can hear our voice. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story in the comments section below, even if you have to come back here to tell me about what next year brings, because I'm very curious now about what sort of pathway you're being led down here. It feels very exciting and filled with so much raw potential. It's like a vibration in the room. I will definitely be praying for you as well. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, I would love for you to be a part of this family. And if you are a subscriber, please be sure to drop me a comment below and hit your notification bell if you haven't done so already, so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free video reading. I also offer a chance to win a free mini reading on Instagram, and I'll be posting about that soon. And I offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below. But I really hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a very beautiful day. Take care.